Oh, snap. What's up? What's going on? Darius, what's up, man?
How you doing, sir? How you
Good.
doing?
I'm good. So, where we at right now, man? What are we doing right now? What's going on, man?
Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 3 of the D&D podcast. So we definitely want to welcome you. Grab some popcorn. Quit doing your job because I'm sure you're probably listening to this at work and you ain't working anyway. But we got a good show lined up for you guys. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Like my man said, man, it's your boy Deontay, whatever you know me as. You know what I'm saying? It's I. And it is Saturday, my guy. Quick story, brother.
Yes,
Quick
sir.
story. So I went to Subway yesterday, brother, and the Subway lady made one of the best sandwiches I ever had in my life. I was 2 seconds away from calling my mama and telling her I didn't found what I'm looking for as a wife. I'm ready to take her home, and yeah, you got to meet my mama. You know what I'm saying? The sandwich was that amazing. I'm like, you have a lot of potential. In your sandwich making skills and to my heart. You have a lot of potential to my heart too. And it's funny because she looked like she was old enough to have a house phone at the house. So she was definitely older than me by many years, but her sandwich skills made me want to wife her up and meet her at the altar. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow.
It was serious. That's how good. That's how amazing that sandwich was. And you know, I like to eat and move.
Yeah.
I ate that sandwich way before getting back to the job. So shout out to the Subway lady, man. Holla at your boy, man. Hope you find this podcast. Get at it.
It's funny. I had a similar experience. It was a kind of though. But what happened was, I think I was in your neck of the woods, and this dude was like new to Subway. But the way he made my sandwich, like I was like, bro, I want to hire you to do something else. Like as much as much care and like customer service you put into that sandwich, like you were the best sandwich artist I've ever ran into like in my life. Like that sandwich was so good, bro, that like I went back trying to like find that guy again, but I guess he made so many good sandwiches. He got promoted and did like a whole different job, and I was like, God dog it, somebody beat me to the punch and hired this awesome dude to
That sounds like a sandwich
bring
entanglement
this
I
in the
want to be a
world.
part of.
He's in the sandwich entanglement.
That I want to be a part of. I want to be the August Alsina in that marriage right there. 2 sandwich makers. Let me just come in and eat everything up. No, pause. We talking about sandwiches. But that's pause. Eat everything up. I don't get down like that. Sandwiches.
Episode 3, everybody. This is getting off to a fantastic bang.
Oh my goodness, man. So brother, catch me up, man. If you can just I don't know, catch me up on how your week has been a little bit. I don't know. What's up?
Man, my week has been phenomenal. A lot of doors have been opening this week, and I've had a great attitude, man. I think just consistently since we started this podcast, this is week 3 of this podcast. I've had a great attitude in terms of like life and stuff like that. So just more of that. A lot of doors being opened, a lot of gratitude, and just being open to everything and seeing what opportunities come out of it. What about yours?
Love that, bro. Similar. Definitely have seen a lot of I don't know, hard work kind of pay off this week. I passed one of my exams this week, so that was super exciting. And just been working and things been going pretty well. But on the flip side of that, I've been having a lot of $5 thoughts and stuff that's just not worth cashing in on. So you learning from those mistakes. First of all, what's a $5 thought? I see that's what you're looking at me asking yourself, what's a $5 thought? $5 thought is a very cheap, not worth giving energy to type of thinking, man. And I did have a few $5 thoughts this week, but you know what I'm saying? I kind of reserved myself, man, and made sure that I didn't cash in. I didn't go to the store and try to break 100, buying $3.75 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying? No $5 thoughts here, but just learning from that and hurdling over that, man. So yeah, man, super random, but hashtag no $5 thoughts episode.
Okay, we'll definitely touch on that later in the podcast about the $5 thoughts.
Yeah.
But I got some funny stuff I want to throw your way, and let's
What's
just
up?
see if we can
What's up? What's going on, player? Get comfortable. We in the D&D Experience Lounge, baby. We in the boom boom room. You feel me?
All right. Here's the first one. So I was at somebody's house this week, and I asked if they had some barbecue sauce, and they opened this drawer and handed me some barbecue sauce out the drawer. My question to you is, how comfortable are you with the condiment drawer?
Well, just being at home when I was living at home, like there was a condiment drawer, and it was fully stocked on the finest condiments from the area, you know. So I'm very comfortable with the condiment drawer.
See, but how often do y'all swap out? Because I don't think condiments have like an expiration date on them. And I guess that's what was making me nervous. Or sometimes you'll get like a barbecue sauce and it got barbecue sauce already on it. Or, you know, it's like nasty looking condiments that I'm like, y'all should have probably threw this away.
See,
but
you know, you go to the condiment drawer when you're on the low end of your groceries. You know what I'm saying? When you're on the low end of your groceries, you like, man, I'm out of barbecue sauce. Wait, no, I'm not. Condiment drawer. I'm out of ketchup. Wait, hold up. Condiment drawer. Have y'all seen Arby's sauce? Condiment drawer. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's for. So that's yeah, man.
I don't know, bro. I don't trust anybody's condiment drawer. I feel like if it's not in the bottle, if I can't read the expiration date, I just eat my food plain. Like, and I didn't want to offend the person, but I was like, this is the only barbecue sauce you got, bro? Like, I shouldn't even ask. Like, hey, you put out this nasty freaking sauce that you're trying to pass out to me. I'm good. You know what I mean? So,
hey.
That's my thoughts on the condiment drawer. So I threw that one out there just to see, like, am I tripping or, you know, what?
I don't know if that's a culture thing, too. I don't know, you know.
What you mean?
Just, and I mean culture by poverty line culture. I think the poverty line culture, that's how we get down condiment drawers, all right? I'm just saying, man. Nothing to do with black and white poverty culture.
So you're saying we don't have enough prosperity to get away from the condiment drawer, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. But it sounds like you grew up on the other side of the poverty line, and you didn't have a condiment drawer.
No. I'm not going to say that, because I grew up on the condiment drawer side of the poverty line, right? Okay. However, poverty ain't fun. I don't want to eat. Every time I want ketchup, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to give me a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get a bottle. It's $1. You know what I mean? So I deserve a bottle. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be bougie and I ain't above the condiment drawer. But I guess for me, my argument is, if you're going to have a condiment drawer, keep it fresh. Like, either hand write the dates on when you got it. Like,
I'm listening.
You disagree?
I'm listening.
Okay. Disagree?
Yes. Because that contradicts the poverty culture. All right? If you got time to be out here replenishing, am I saying that right? Replenishing.
Yeah, that's a great word.
Your condiment drawer. You're doing pretty well in life. That's all I'm saying. You can, you know what I'm saying, alternate. Oh, let's get this out and put this in. You're doing pretty well in life, right? That's all I'm saying. You might as well, if you go buy the regular bottle, if you can do all that. It's for the last bit of the groceries when it's down to the itty bitty. That's what it's for, man. It's emergencies only. You got to break the glass and get to the drawer.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then, because I don't know, but some people, like some houses I go to, they offer, like, that's it. Like, they'll offer you condiments out the condiment drawer when they have stuff. Like, they'll be like, hey, do you want some KFC barbecue? Like, KFC barbecue? Like, you ain't got no sweet rays? I don't know. Maybe
That's funny. That's funny, bro.
maybe I'm bougie. I don't know, but I don't want the brand of barbecue sauce that I'm eating to deal with the restaurant as opposed to a specialist who's special. Like, give me some Stubbs. Give
Okay.
me some Baby Ray.
I agree, man. I agree. Because if that's the first choice is the condiment drawer as a choice of barbecue sauce, the next thing is like, hey, let me give you a plastic cup and a plastic plate. It's a plastic cutlery to enjoy that it all goes together, man. But that's funny. That's first choice.
So maybe I'm a little bougie, but I want to throw that to you. I got another one here for you just to kind of get us flowing creatively. But I live by an elementary school, right? So every time I'm going to work, I have to go past this elementary school during school hours. And I noticed that they have an army of crossing guards, right? Um, they let the kids go across the street. What I've realized though is the parents are more appreciative of the crossing guards than the kids, right? So I just noticed this sense of like arrogance that the parents have when they're getting escorted across the street by the crossing guard, like they're royalty. And that has been making me laugh internally all week. I'm like, look at this bougie mom thinking she's somebody because she got a crossing guard escort. And I don't know. I think when it comes to escorts, you got a police escort and then you got a crossing guard right there. You know what I mean? So what's your thoughts on that?
Hey, that's funny. That's funny. Dude, that makes sense to me, bro. I agree with that. You got the police escort, so that only person that's ahead of you is the president. You know what I'm saying? They the only ones that get police escorts and people who about to have babies. So might as well get the crossing guard escort. I like it. Stop everything. Stop this residential traffic and let me cross the street. All right.
Man, they love it. They love it. And the crossing guards are so pleasant. They wave in the morning, like, good morning. Oh, wait, stop. Let me let Miss Susan across the street. You know what I mean? So just another funny observation.
I
do
like that.
you have any do you have any funny ideas or jokes or stories, anything like that you want to put out there?
Well, so I got a haircut this week, and my barber, he's been my barber for a while, and that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't have time to be memorizing my hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? So every time I sit in the chair, he's like, well, what are we doing today? And I'm like, man, we're gonna do. I always have to re-explain to him. So toward the end of the haircut, I like to get my sides kind of bald, to separate the beard and the fade. And I didn't tell him that in time. So he kind of connected everything. And I looked, I was like, all right, man, I'm not really a fan of this. Could you kind of fade this out? And he was like, man, when I asked you at the beginning what you want, you need to tell me. I'm like, yeah, but you do this all the time. We've been here before. You've forgotten this. And he was just like, you could tell he was very frustrated. So if you usually have great conversations throughout your haircut experience, he just quit talking to me. He was like, man, and get you out my chair. He didn't even want to dap me up. I'm like, that's but I guess time is money with barbers, So it was a funny experience to me, man. That's all.
It's funny. I got my haircut.
Oh, go ahead,
I got my haircut yesterday too, and I've noticed barbers don't care for particular clients, right? Like if you're a very particular client, because when they hand you that mirror, that's their way of letting you know, like, yo, job. But that's their equivalent of the waitress dropping the check on the table, right? The waiter or waitress dropping the check.
Pay anytime.
Exactly. So if you go to your waiter and you say, actually, I don't think I didn't like that's the equivalent of you commenting on the work they just did. So I noticed because the guy before me was getting a haircut and the barber gave him the mirror, right? The I'm done mirror, right?
I'm done.
And So the guy, hey, look, here's the I'm done mirror. And the guy goes, can you actually, I don't like the way my hair is touching my nose. Can you go ahead? He's like, you sure? Is that anything else? You know what I mean? Like, I already met the requirement to touch your hair. So he went and, got him right and then got him out the chair. But I don't know. I've seen some people in the barber shop that are like super particular. Like they're like, hey, actually my line, can you go over this one more time? Or like the barber be like, if you don't get you don't even tip. You know what I mean? Like why? I don't know. So I definitely can. I've never been that dude. So if I ever get a bad haircut, I don't really speak up about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if I get a bad haircut, I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna speak a little louder next time.
Okay. I can kind of respect that. I'm kind of the same way in regards, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, if it's something minor, like, because I don't like, me personally, going back to my story, I just don't like the way the chin strap and the fade is connected. It makes my face feel like it's just too connected. I need separation. I don't like things that close together. You know what I'm saying? So something like that, I'm like, I gotta fight for that. I gotta get in the ring for you and just take that verbal abuse, because I'm like, I'm not about to leave and I'm paid you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, if it's just like all around jacked up, that's just gonna be the last time you see me on earth. I'm gonna delete Instagram and you're not gonna follow me or nothing. I'm gonna just leave. I'm not coming back to you at all. I'm like, I don't pay in dollars. I play in cryptocurrency, bro. I could use in US dollars. we have nothing in common now. I'm growing my hair out. I'm using pesos and I'm growing dreads. I'm gonna switch up.
I use Russian currency.
Man, yeah. I'm not gonna be able to see you anymore, man. I quit using US dollars, man. That is hilarious, man. But yeah, that's how I get down, man. That's the last time you see me again.
So this leads me to my next question for you. So what's the worst haircut that you've ever gotten in your life?
Oh my goodness, bro. Now you about to get some raw Deontay, okay? Off script Deontay. Now, it had to be in the 7th grade. So I had this barber, man. I don't want to say his name, but it's been so dang long. You feel me?
Yeah, no name.
I should drop it. You feel me? I should drop his name because it's been that long. But I'm not gonna say his name, man. We're gonna call him B though. We're gonna call him B. So B was
B for barber.
Yeah, B for barber. There it is. B for barber. Good cleanup, sir. So B would cut not only my hair, he'll cut all the fellas' hair in the family. And this particular time, B was a little up in smoke a little bit. That's how I like to put it. He was little he wasn't in his right mind. He was outside his mind a little bit, up in smoke. Catch my drift. Man, me, especially back in middle school, I was like, I need a haircut, man. That's how I get my girls, So I go and see him, and I'm ignoring all the signs. His eyes was very red. He had an odor that was so strong, and he was mumbling. He was like a mumble rapper before mumble rap was even a thing. I'm like, what you say? But I just ignored everything. And he decided, I said, let me get the table fade, let me get the usual. And he knew what my usual was, but this particular usual was a little different because he went, I don't know if y'all can see my hairline, he went like, everything was cool, but right here, he decided to go up and did something very weird. And he didn't even give me the I'm done mirror. He didn't even give me that. He gave me he's like, yo, go check it out in the bathroom, whatever. And I was all like, man, I'm good, man. I'm my ride outside, man. So he didn't even give me the I'm finished mirror. It didn't really hit me. Then I was wearing a headband, so I put my headband on. I was looking at my waves, and it didn't hit me until I got out my mama's car and I looked in the rear view mirror. And you know how things are like closer to what they are seeing. That whole little disclaimer.
The side view.
The side view mirror. I got that little disclaimer. Well, I was very close, and I saw my joint was like, well, boom. I was like, what in the world? You know what I'm saying, dude? I went to school the next day and I wore this huge headband. This one headbands was really popping. I wore the biggest headband I could find. And as soon as you get on these school campuses, gotta take your headband off, gotta take your hood off, gotta take your hat off. I took that headband off, and I tell you, the whole school was like, yo, boy, and they was roasting me, right? And then here's the icing on the cake. So I had a crush on this super fine Hispanic lady, man. She's the same grade as me, and she was just the finest thing on two legs, you know, in middle school. And she didn't really talk to me a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody was always on a jock. But this particular day, I was leaving woodshop class with my boys. And she's like, I didn't even know she knew me like that. She's like, hey, Deontay. And I was all like, and they was like, yo, that's Shorty. I was like, yeah. She was like, let me see your haircut. I was like, oh, man, bro. I literally turned around, and I was so mad, bro. So shout out to that barber B who traumatized me. You feel me? Threw me through a whole social loop, but, you know, I had to bounce back. So, you know, that's why sometimes some things I just got to fight for. I'm done, man, but I got to fight for certain things. So, yeah, that's my worst experience, man.
Okay, so I could probably match that story. Probably. All right. So it was my sophomore year in high school. We moved out in Texas, and I didn't have a barber. So the barber that cut my hair yesterday, I've been with this guy for like 10 years because of this incident I'm about to explain, right? So I get down here, and we're still trying to make connections, right? So I don't have a go-to barber yet. Well, my cousin, he goes, hey, well, I got clippers at the house. I can cut you up. You know what I mean? And this is like, I don't remember if school had started. I had to have started because people knew who I was. So every February, actually, I would grow my hair out for like Black History Month or whatever. So what I wanted him to do, I had about a couple months of some hair up here. So what I wanted him to do was to, you know, line me up and get rid of some of it on the side, right? So when he starts doing the hair, he forgot to put a guard on the clipper. Should. So he never tells me. This is one of them haircuts when you're sitting on the bathroom toilet and he's just kind of cutting your hair right there, right? So he don't put the guard on the clippers. So he tries to play it off. So in order to play it off, he has to keep going higher and higher to to blend it, right?
I'm listening.
So on top of that, right? Somehow when he's doing my lining gets pushed back as well. And I should, once again, there was a lot of red flags in the haircut. Like you hear stuff like, oh, you hear a lot of throat clearing or a lot of like, how can I correct this, right? So he's like, then he's asking me questions like, you sure you want to keep the fro? You know, he's asking me questions like that. He asked me questions like that. I was like, yeah, bro, you good, bro. I want to keep the fro. I do this every.
You don't want a regular job? You sure you want to keep this?
You don't want no good income? Like, nah. Let me keep the fro. Let me keep the fro. He warns me like 3 times. Like, you sure you want to keep this fro? And I was like, yeah, bro. Like, that's my thing, right? So we finished. We finished the haircut, bro, and it literally looks like I have like a yarmulke on my head, like one of them Jewish hats. I have one of these, right? So I don't really want to like, and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, you know how like you got a bad haircut, but you try to play it off like, all right, if I turn my head this way, it's not that bad or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
I go downstairs to his family. He was cutting my hair at his family's house. So I go downstairs and his mom goes, oh my God, what did you just do to his head? Like me and his mom won't be able to be friends anymore because you done ruined her son's haircut, right? I think that day, and everybody's kind of laughing, right? They're laughing like, I'd be like, oh my God, that's so bad, right? And then he starts laughing. Like what he told me in the bathroom is a different conversation. He was like, yeah, I was telling them like, you know, I messed up, but he said he wanted to keep it. So we just his story changed when he got downstairs, right? So
changed when he got in front of people. He started switching up. He started adapting to the atmosphere. Yeah, you know, I told buddy. You
I
know?
know it's my first time. It's my first time cutting hair. And I've only watched YouTube videos, right? So
Oh my
his
goodness,
whole
man.
narrative changes, right? So then that night, and I think I got my hair cut too because they were having a party for one of his little sisters at like one of those moon houses where people jump around or whatever. So we go there. And when I see my mom laughs so hard in my face. She's she is crying laughing.
Sorry,
Like, bro, it's hurting my feelings. It's hurting my feelings how hard she's laughing in my face, right? And she told me
I can't
that when I
believe
was going through this bouncy house, the way the bouncy house was designed, you could see my head like popping up every so often, and it was just the haircut. Like you couldn't see the rest of me. All you could see was this haircut emerging from this moon house going up and down, up and down. She's in tears on the ground, laughing. Like she would be like, Darius, you know, and every time she would look at me, she would start in my eyes and then go up to my hairline, right? So there were so many red flags to tell me, like, yo, you should probably cut this off before you go to school, right? I didn't. I went to school. I went to school super confident, bro. I went in there, and I went to a predominantly white high school, but
oh,
they get their haircuts like once every 6 months or something like that. Like they're not used to haircut. They had so much to say about what went wrong with my haircut. Like, they were like, did somebody
the notes is out the building. The notes is out the building. This is funny.
It was like, did somebody put a bowl on your head and cut around it? Like, it was terrible, bro. And then like, I think my cousin like went to the same high school at that time, and people was like the black kids would come to me because it was like, I don't know, it was one black kid per hallway or whatever. So all the black kids merged in one hallway this particular day, and like, yo, bro, who cut your hair? You know, I said, my cousin, blah blah. They was like, he did that to you? They was like, was he mad at you? Bro, it was terrible. So I had that haircut for about 2 or 3 days, and when I tell you, bro, though, I had it for a minute. So, because he cut it like on a Sunday or a Saturday, I had it till about Wednesday, and then, but when I went home, I told my mom, I said, okay, although you hurt my feelings, I'm glad you laughed at me the way that you did because nothing that these kids could say could hurt my feelings the way you did. So I had went and got, I had them cut it off like that Thursday. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start from scratch. So ever since then, that's why I don't mess around with people cutting my hair. And especially early this year when the coronavirus hit and the barbershops was closed and everybody had like looking like wolfmen and like all the girlfriends was like, yo, let me just cut your hair. I'm like, nah. I'm going to go to a professional who went to school for this because I didn't had enough bad haircuts in my life.
Everybody had one too many, dog. Man, that's funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man. That definitely topped it. That was funny. That was hilarious. I like that story. And you know what the thing is, and I'm sure the audience can admit to this, man. Y'all know y'all done had a bad experience, bad with the barber. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had to mess around, got a bad haircut, and had to hear the ridicule of your peers. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be the first ones to let you know your stuff is trash. You need to throw it away. You know what I'm saying? You need that barber need to pay you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no, here's $15, bro. Go to a professional. Go.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, bro.
You want to hear the worst part of that story too? So, in those 3 days that I had that haircut, I messed around and fell asleep, and somebody took a picture of me with that haircut.
Ooh.
When I tell you, at least once a year, that picture resurfaces around the holidays, and I believe when I call my mom till this day, that's the picture that she has of me on her phone. So when I call her, that picture pops up of that terrible haircut every time I call her. So
okay, this explains a lot, Darius. This explains a lot. Okay, audience. Let me bring y'all into this the behind the scenes of the D&D experience, man. So Mr. D, the other D in the D experience, man, he doesn't like taking pictures. All right. So I am like, I really want to get some promo pitches, you know what I'm saying, for the podcast, man. Get some stuff to get the people kind of excited, man. My man HD, man, he this is the only time in our friendship he quit texting me. I was texting him, yo, what's up with these promo pitches? He was all like, left me on red, threw the phone away, you know what I'm saying? He's not about that life, man. And it all makes sense, right? It started with that haircut. Right? That's why you don't like taking pictures, man. So we need to go call this. Who was this? Was your cousin? This was your cousin messed you up?
My cousin.
Okay, we need a slap box match. Okay, we need to get this man up. We need to humiliate him. Okay, because my man got to take some pictures, man. So to the audience out there, man, put some pressure on my man Darius, man, so we can get some promo pictures for the podcast, man. I got some great ideas, you know what I'm saying? I think it'll be real dope. I'm sure y'all gonna really love it because we about to get the social media thing jumping out the gym. So yeah, Darius, putting the pressure on you on the podcast, sir. We need promo pictures, man. Let's make that shake, man.
Okay. So here's what happened with the promo pics. First of all, I thought I responded back to Deontay, but my phone never sent the message, right? But here's the thing with Deontay. Deontay is from the era of mall pictures, where when you go to the mall, and they got the background like somebody spray painted on it, and everybody's back to back with foam numbers in their hand. That's the era that Deontay is from. So when he calls me and say like, "Hey, let me do some promo pictures," he always wants to do poses that's like back to back, or like you ever seen the prison poses? You ever see somebody say like,
he's in a prison?
Don't be doing all the prison poses.
Jail ain't fun. Jail ain't fun.
I'm home, baby. Let's go pictures.
I'm home, man. Free to roam. I'm finally home. Pictures.
Doing all that. I don't want to. We're going to get stuff done. But when you take pictures, you have a lot of energy, though.
Yes.
You have a lot of picture energy.
Yes.
That you bring to capture. So you be like, and it's just me and you. Our energy is different. So, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you take pictures. You be trying to give me a knuckle sandwich. You be trying to like rough me all in the picture.
No, bro. I just, we got to get these promo pictures, man. So, yeah, put the pressure on this man, cause he acting like he too cool, man. He act like he Jay-Z, man. You know what I'm saying? Last thing you want is your picture snap. That's Darius over here, man. So he need to get with the program. Hashtag promo pictures, man. That's what I gotta say about that, man. Let me get back to these notes.
We're gonna get these notes. We're gonna get some pictures down.
Get back to the notes, man.
Back to our schedule program.
Man. What you talking about with me? You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's funny, bro. So you got any current events for us, man? What's going on, man? What's going on in this world, man?
Okay, so I've been reading some articles.
Of course.
And one that I thought was interesting was this this guy in Chicago or Illinois. He got arrested for riding a horse on the expressway. He's like an activist. They call him the Dreadhead Cowboy. And he was riding a horse in the middle of this expressway. And I just thought that was interesting. Like, he's doing it to promote advocacy for people to fill out the census so that these communities and these communities where these kids are at can get the proper resources allocated to them. So what he's doing is a good cause, but it was kind of a bit of a publicity stunt. So that was one article that I saw that caught my eye. I sent it to you. When I sent it to you, what were some of your thoughts?
I was like, a cowboy, a horse on the highway? What's going on? Big question mark. I wasn't sure, but they kind of know that there was a publicity stunt to get people to fill out the census. Hey, man, you got to get people's attention, and he definitely got the world's attention by I ain't gonna say the world, but definitely got a lot of people's attention by doing that. So kudos to him, man. And Yeah. As far as this message, it's a clear message. If you haven't got a chance to get your census done, it's due with last day September 30th. All right, so get it done, man, and it benefits communities. Lets the people, the government, the big government know how many people's in your community, man, and how they can allocate resources to these communities, man. So you got these low-end communities, man, that definitely need it. So if you get a chance, man, get it done. All right, I'm the follow-up. I'm gonna help him out. I love his message, man. I'm gonna help him out. So I love it, man.
So, question for you: have you ever been on a horse?
No, and this is crazy because I live in the South, all right, with horses, or you can spot a horse driving on the side of a country road anywhere. So I really want to ride a horse, but I haven't. Have you, sir? Have you gotten on a horse?
Yes, sir. So it's been a while, but when I found out we were moving to Texas from Chicago, Illinois, I thought that everybody in Texas rode horses. Like the only information I had at the time was what I saw in movies, right? So I assumed everybody rode horses.
Wow,
So
wow.
I was like, what? I said, well, let me, ride a horse
Yeah.
so that I can know that way when I get down there. So we go to ride this horse, and it was funny, bro, because when you go to this little horse place, you have to pick your horse, but sometimes the horse picks you. So like if the horse walked towards you, they'd be like, okay, this horse likes you, whatever. Well, apparently the horse that started walking towards me, this horse looked a little rough. Like his eyes was looking two different directions. His nose was running. He was walking towards me. And I was trying to act like I wasn't trying to make eye contact with the horse because I was like, I don't want you to think that I want you the way that you want me. It has to be a mutual thing. So I was kind of turning my shoulders.
Can I just chime in?
Go ahead.
It sounded like the horse was trying to holler at you, and you was acting like like you was out of his league. Like I don't do runny noses. I don't do. You're not tall enough.
That's a good horse. Don't be. I only deal with tall horses. 6 feet or above.
He's trying to holler at you. That's funny.
But no, it was funny because when this horse was coming towards me, I was like, yo, I want a better looking horse or whatever. And then at the last minute, this lady jumped in and she goes, oh, I'm sorry. Biscuit here. He just got out of surgery. So he's not, I was like, yeah, let him rest up. He obviously looked like he just got out of surgery. Let me get a healthier looking horse. But we got on the horses and it was interesting. But the horses are trained when they get too far from the pack, they just start running. And nobody told me that. So my horse got too far from the pack, starts running to get to the front of the pack. And he's like bumping other horses, bumping other people. And you have to like really have control of the horse, which I didn't. And it was kind of embarrassing, but I got to the front of it and it was a cool time. I mean, it was in Chicago, whatever. So we had a good time, but I have been, it's been a while, but yeah.
All right. Cowboy Darius.
I'm on the mission.
Some people got to pass their driving test. When you move to Texas, you got to pass your horse license test. You got to learn how to ride a horse. Darius passed that with flying colors, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen. So that's pretty dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I do decide to go horseback riding, I know who to call. You know what I'm saying?
Don't call me because it's been a while.
I'm definitely calling you, man. That's a dope story, bro. That's a dope story, man. Anything else? Anything else going on, man?
Well, that was one that I wanted to mention. I know you had stumbled across one. What was the article that you came across that you had talked about?
Yeah. Let me check my notes. So I guess we're gonna kind of switch gears and we're gonna get a little kind of urban. But for those who don't know, the audience, man, I like hip hop. I like hip hop, man. All genres, man. And there's an artist, a rapper specifically by the name of I'm about to butcher his name. My bad. Hold on. Moneybagg Yo. his name is Lil Bow Wow. No, I'm joking. Moneybagg Yo, and he makes trap music, man. But the funny thing is he's about 26, 27, And so I saw online that he was celebrating a birthday, and he had his whole family, his whole team with him, and somebody took it upon themselves to try to assassinate this guy. They did a drive-by one time and came back around and did another one. And it's super sad, super unfortunate that that takes place, you know, especially right now, man. We don't need no gun violence going on. But it just had me kind of thinking a little bit, you know, had me asking myself, you know, some tough questions. Why is hip hop so, you know, so much violence on in hip hop, man? Because it's one of the leading genres in music. It's like, you know, it's one of the best. The whole world listens to hip hop. So I'm like, why is there so much risk in it? And you know, I had to ask myself, man, do you find this type of violence in other genres of music? You know what I'm saying? Do you ever hear about Tim McGraw getting into a shootout, leaving the country awards? Does that ever happen? Do you ever hear kids doing drive-bys while listening to rock music? You know, does that ever happen in in neighborhoods? So I'm just like, why? You know, does every genre of music has its own set of issues, and ours is just gun violence in hip hop, man? So it just had me asking those type of questions, man. And I guess I want to ask you, what are your thoughts, and why do you think that is, man? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Pretty much, what's your thoughts?
Well, one thing, well, one thing that immediately comes to mind is, was anybody shot in the drive-by thing?
Yes. So in this age of social media, there was a guy who recorded every bit of it, and he got shot in the foot. And it's so sad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah. He got grazed.
You know what's interesting? Okay, so between him getting shot in the foot, and we all know Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot, it sounds like everybody in the hip hop community need to invest in some steel toe boots.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, he didn't.
This little piggy went to the hip hop concert and got shot off because
he said steel toe boots. This guy, that was kind of clever. Yeah. This is the guy. Oh man. All right, Derek.
Hip hop concerts with open toe shoes. You better
Yo, hold on. Can I just I hate I'm kind of random right now. But like, you know what I don't like? With people who have open toe shoes and they in a rush. Like, I just can't take you serious if you got on sandals and you trying to rush me. I'm like, bro, you look like you getting off the plane of Hawaii right now. Calm down. I'm just saying, when I see people with slides with open toes, they ain't got no socks on, and they rushing me, I'm like, I'm not about to listen to you. You ain't got nothing to do today. I can tell by your footwork. I can tell by your shoes, your choice of shoes today. You don't have nothing to do. Today's an easy day for you. Don't rush me. You don't even have on tennis shoes. That's how I judge people. What is it? What else on their feet? Are they wearing open toe shoes? They're not in a rush. Take your time. So yeah, just to the audience out there.
I was walking with my little brother. I was walking with my little brother around the block a couple months ago. And I said, come on, little buddy, let's go walk around the block. Yeah. Right? He decides to walk around in flip-flops. And I knew when I saw it, I said, I don't think that's a good idea. Right?
Nobody's gonna take you serious. Nobody's gonna rush. Go ahead, man.
So we walking around the block, right? And he got this new like Batman cup, and I had him fill it up with water or whatever. So we start walking around the block. I promise you, we didn't get very far, and he trips over the sidewalk. One of his flips got caught. One of his flip-flops got caught. He falls, breaks his cup, breaks his knee, like scrapes his knee up real bad, ruins the entire walking experience, right? We have to walk back to the house. He's screaming in agony, right? Very dramatic. Screaming in agony. And it was all because he wore flip-flops. And I was like, okay, little homie. And I walked with him this week too. And I said, come on, let's go for a walk. He's like, all right, cool. And he tried to put them flip-flops on me. And I said, no, sir, put on some sneakers because you will not fall around me again. Because you want to be lazy and want your toes to breathe. And I feel like that's what the hip hop community needs to do too. Get some real shoes on. Get some real
Leave the flip
shoes.
flops at
Cause y'all
home.
here.
Gucci flip flops,
Yeah, you out
all
here.
this. Get you some shoes. Get you some regular tennis shoes. Steel toe shoes at that. All right,
Exactly.
Michael Jordan, hear us out. The DD experience. Make the next Jordan release have steel toe features.
That way, you know,
Go sell them out. The hip hop community.
we'll call these the hip hop shoes.
The hip hop J's. Damn, that's I don't mean to curse, but dang it, that sucks, man. That sucks. That's my thought on shoes, man. When I see dudes with flip flops, I'm like, all right, don't rush me, cause you ain't in a rush. And yeah, man, MJ, man, work on that. We throwing you the alley-oop, MJ. We throwing you the alley-oop. Steel toe Jordans, man. Protect the hip hop community, man. that's how we solve problems here.
We solve problems by not really solving them at all. That's what we do here at the D&D Experience.
You know, yeah, man, yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm loving this, bro. This episode 3, brother.
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
So to segue, let's segue into our next segment of this. So earlier in the podcast, you had mentioned $5 thoughts. And I'm sure a lot of the audience members have had $5 thoughts themselves. So I want to go ahead and hand you over this segment of the podcast so that you can lead us in this $5 thoughts segment.
All right. Now, congregation, I need you to turn to your notes to the book of $5 thoughts. $5 thoughts, verse 1. No, I'm joking. So this is a new idea, and I want to challenge y'all to have new ideas, man. Don't just be thinking the same. I'm challenging you to kind of find ways to get new ideas in your mind, man. But here's my thing, man. $5 thoughts, man. This is the whole concept right here. I keep reintroducing it. Here we go. We are super. I mean, we're very valuable people, man. Very valuable people. Not only to, you know what I'm saying, our circles, you know what I'm saying, our families and friends, but our everyday interactions. We can bring value to people, man. We can change people's, you know, day, and just, you know, positive words, or just being a pair of ears to somebody. So we all agree that we are very valuable people. And so to keep it kind of figurative, whatever, we're like $100 bill. You know what I'm saying? We're $100 bill, and we only do big things, big purchases, you know what I'm saying? Grand things that will, you know, last, that have great value, that will last a long time. So this whole $5 thought thing is like, when we kind of, I guess, let our thoughts kind of get to us, our bad thoughts, and we do things that aren't really in our character. They don't really benefit us in the long run. It doesn't really have value. And that those thoughts do happen, but you can't allow those thoughts to manifest, man. We can't give that stuff energy, man. So $5 thoughts do happen, but you can't have $5 actions. You know what I'm saying? So I would just, you know, challenge the audience, man, to you know, find ways to you know, counter that stuff, man. And really, like I said, just to kind of review it, $5 thoughts are just kind of those bad thoughts, those bad decisions that kind of have a ripple effect that are very short term. You don't really see a long term effect in them. And it's kind of like going to the corner store, man. You go to the corner store and you go to the candy aisle and you buy up, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of cheap candy, you know what I'm saying? And then you know, the total is like $6, and you pull out your $100 bill, and they like, I can't break this. You can't break this. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of my that's kind of the whole $5 thought, man. And yeah.
So for you,
Yeah.
in your personal life, how have you been combating those $5 thoughts, or what action steps can you give the audience to combat those $5 thoughts?
Okay, well, you have to recognize that you're having a $5 thought. So if you find yourself kind of in this wrestle between the thought, the $5 thought, and like another thought that's probably a more better thought, that's a sign. Okay, that's a sign right there. Like, okay, if I'm having like a bad thought and a good thought, and I know this good thought will be more beneficial than this bad thought, but this bad thought is just so short term and so my pleasure senses will be up. You gotta recognize that's a sign right there. So I think the first step is kind of recognizing your $5 thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I think to kind of combat that, you gotta kind of get creative. You have to kind of one thing that I do, I like to speak out loud. I like to kind of talk things because the inner thoughts, you have all the stuff on the inside, you know, it may not be as effective as it is kind of speaking things and like figuring out, okay, what am I really doing? Why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Why do I want to go and do this $5 thought? You know what I'm saying? So kind of speaking things into pulling out your head, putting your thoughts out your head, and then having I guess interesting, unique solutions. So like last night, like I had a little $5 thought, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm about to just go. I just need to go outside a little bit. Let me go walk around and play basketball because we got a basketball goal in my apartment complex. So I just went out there and just put my headphones in, just shot the ball around, worked on my jumper, and then took a nice little shower, fed myself, treated myself to the, you know, the $100 bill that I am. Just really just catered to myself and not to that $5 thought. So I fed myself, I worked out. The basketball game was on, so I caught up the tail end of that. So I think that was very helpful for me to kind of say, okay, I'm worthy. It's probably not going to be the best decision, so I'm going to just do what I got to do. So those are some ways you can combat $5 thoughts. Recognize that it is a $5 thought, and kind of just communicate what is it that can happen if you go with that $5 thought. Why are you trying to go with that $5 thought? And then do something creative and treat yourself. So like go exercise, go feed yourself. A lot of times you're hungry or you want to go outside. You've been cooped up in the crib all day. So go outside, shoot the ball, do whatever you got to do. But I think that's a little remedy you can do. So, yeah.
That's excellent advice for the audience and definitely for some like myself, you know, because I definitely struggle with $5 thoughts as well, and trying not to cash them in or
There you go.
my debit card or anything like that. You know what I mean? So
they got them limits too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to spend over $5. They're like, you got to spend like at least $8. You can't buy this with this.
see, because sometimes the $5 thoughts will come with a coupon, so you'll be like, yeah, I can get.
Bags. You're like, man, if I, you know what I'm saying? You be trying to, you know, finesse with that $5 thought, man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
So, as we wrap this episode up, one thing that I'm curious to know for you is, what are you feeding yourself intellectually and spiritually? What are you reading? What have you learned from I know you were reading a book like last week.
Yeah.
What have you learned from it? Any takeaways?
Yeah, I do got one for you. So I haven't really got too deep into the book yet, but I'm still working on that. But one thing that really stood out to me, I was underlining some stuff, but it talked about this idea of like putting limitations on our like happiness. And I'm kind of paraphrasing it. They use different words, but like a lot of times whenever stuff is going right in life, we tend to like combat it with like a bad thought and stuff like that. Like kind of like, so finding ways to kind of stay in that positive, joyful mindset, you know what I'm saying? And not self-sabotaging ourselves. It's pretty much kind of was what that whole little bit was about. He used this term that I have to go grab the book, but I don't know. I just found that to be kind of like really interesting, like, because you have those moments in your day where you're like, yo, I'm in a really good mood. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a really good mood. So just finding ways to kind of stay in that headspace. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's like kind of like, you know what I'm saying, treating yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what, man, I'm in this good mood. I got extra dollars. I'm gonna go get me some food. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give me some Subway. You know what I'm saying? Finding ways to just treat yourself and stay in that kind of mindset, man. So stuff like that, man. So that's kind of what I've been learning from that book. So yeah, man. What about you, man?
So I've been reading this book called The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. It's by a woman named, I believe her name is Edwene Gaines. And it's interesting because I definitely have been trying to develop on the spiritual side of things and then also figure out how to approach things from a mindset of abundance as opposed to a mindset of scarcity. So the book is very interesting. The segment that I'm reading right now is talking about tithing and how just like there's physical laws that we have to abide by, such as gravity and things like that, there's these spiritual laws that we have to abide by as well, regardless of your religion. And it just talks about how giving 10% of what you earn back to God in the form of giving it back to where you receive your spiritual food. Because a lot of people aren't religious, but there may be an organization that they care about. There may be a person in need. Like just making sure you give 10% of all that you make back to God and who gave it to you. And I like that a lot because that's been something that I have been struggling with in my young adulthood. It was something I was able to do when I first got into the workforce, but then once bills start stacking up and like real life starts hitting you, you find ways of like negotiating with yourself. Like, oh, well, you know, I do need gas, I do need food, whatever. But what I can say is I'm proud that this entire year, it's been a priority for me. So every month I've been able to give, um, I believe like 10%, like at least 10% tithe, and that's something I've been very proud of. And I've been seeing a lot of doors open because of it. And it's crazy because it may not return to you all the time in a monetary fashion, but a lot of times for me, and I've been like this since I was a kid. Whenever I would tithe, the amount of opportunities that would come my way would be phenomenal. And I think recently I've been seeing an abundance of opportunities coming my way. And I'm just in tune to them now too, because I'm like, oh, that's an opportunity, that's an opportunity, that's an opportunity, that's an opportunity. So I just started the book. I just bought it yesterday. I always read the sample first to see if I'm gonna like the book. And then I had like a promo code. And as opposed to spending that money on a $5 thought, I spent $5 to get the book. So so I did that. And that book is awesome. So I'm hoping to have that done. I'll probably have that done sometime this week. And then I'll be looking to jump on a different one. But that is something that I would want to challenge the audience to do as well. I know it's not always easy for everybody's situation, but when you figure out how to make it work, like you always end up with enough to get to wherever it is you're trying to go. And then as you're on your path of getting more abundance and having more prosperity, it's something that I'm excited for. I'm excited for this journey to see where it goes. But that's what I'm reading. That's what I'm feeding myself this week. And yes, sir. I do want to ask you with us wrapping up episode 3, right? You got any final thoughts for the people?
Woo! Okay. Yes, sir. Loving this so far. Man, can you go first? I still gotta think about mine. Did you already kind of say yours? You were saying like encouraging people to kind of budget more and start giving 10%.
Yeah, well, I think in addition to that, just challenging people to have their opportunity awareness to increase that this week, because opportunity is out there. But sometimes we can be so focused on our situation and so focused on our now that we aren't paying attention to what has been placed on our path to either help someone else or to help our future selves. So
Mm.
stay aware to the opportunities that you come across this week, the next 7 days, between this episode and the next episode airing. I want to hear about all the opportunities you become aware of.
Mm.
So that's my final thought for the audience.
Very powerful, sir. I agree with what he's saying. I 100%. So that's definitely mine as well. I like what you said, sir. I like everything you said. So I'm gonna go ahead and that came from this part of the D experience. That's yeah. But yeah, I like what you said. I think that was well said, man, and I agree 100%, man. I think you spoke for both of us, man. So yeah, man.
All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in this week to the third episode of the D&D Experience. We'll be back next week with another awesome episode to hopefully add value to your life and what you're pursuing out of this life and the time that you've been given. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.
Yo, it's your boy D Coolion type, man. Episode 3 was lit. You already know, baby. You know what I'm saying? Had to put a little sauce on the end. You know what I'm saying? Mac sauce, D sauce. You already know, baby. We see y'all on episode 4, man. Hope you ready. Bring the popcorn, because we about to entertain y'all with this experience. Peace.